Prosperity isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you experience. It's the freedom to create a life you love, the courage to evolve, and the ability to design joy on your own terms. As I always say, success moves at the speed of execution. And sometimes the most successful move you can make is choosing to rewrite your own story. And welcome to another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am your host, the Nicole Johnson, and today's guest embodies reinvention, resourcefulness, and the pursuit of meaningful success. Ooh, if that does not sound right up my alley. Listen, today we are talking with the remarkable Mandie Brice, a former middle and high school teacher who walked away from the classroom to pursue modeling, makeup artistry, and eventually a life of creativity, coaching, and personal development. Now, listen, I take my hat off to Mandie for dealing with being a teacher in middle school and high school. We're gonna say a special blessing for her right there, because her journey has taken her across cities, industries, and entities, from teacher to artist, mother, author, and mindset mentor. Mandie is my BFF already, you guys. Through every transition, she has adapted, expanded, and built a life rooted in joy, intention, and evolution. Is she not the epitome of prosperity conversations? Guess what? She's releasing a new book this month called Happiness Habits, offering simple and accessible practice to infuse more joy into everyday life. And can't we all use some of that? And her new membership platform is launching. I have a secret. We're going to wait a little bit further until we tell you when. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay tuned so you can hear when it's launching. All right. But it talks about personal development tools that people need and that they actually can apply. With journal prompts, discussions, yoga flows, and guided meditation, she turns growth into a lifestyle and not a one time moment. You guys welcome Mandie to the stage. I'm so glad to have you, Mandie. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, how are you?
Thank you for having me, Nicole. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I want to say bless your heart for then being a middle school. And you was brave. You went from middle school and then went on to high school. Hats off.
I don't know how brave I was. I was kind of thrown in. They just sort of started giving me high school classes. So I didn't really sign up for it, but I'll take the blessing, and I still say lots of prayers for those who are still in the trenches.
Yes, yes. My daughter came home and said, Mommy, I want to be a school teacher. Don't do your mama like that. She said, but this is my life. I said, yeah, go volunteer first. And so after 2 semesters of volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club, she really had a change in direction. We should all be so lucky. So listen, later on, we're going to talk about our surprise. Okay, we can't tell them yet. So we're going to start right where we always do. And I'm going to ask you to share with us, what does prosperity mean to you?
I really think it's an adaptable, moving definition. As you can tell just from my bio, I've changed direction a lot of times. And I think being prosperous is being able to shift and still find happiness, freedom, and enjoy the moment of wherever you are and whatever you're doing, even if it is in a middle or high school classroom.
Right. So let me ask you. So somewhere in all this information that we have, you moved a couple of times. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's funny, kind of a full circle thing. I'm back in Milwaukee. I'm from Wisconsin originally, and My husband and I moved to California a little over 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, because we wanted to be, in the warm weather and where people were living a bit of a healthier lifestyle. And so we kind of started in the Bay Area, and then his career moved us to LA, which was perfect for me because it's modeling and makeup artistry. And then we went from there to Sacramento, from Sacramento to Phoenix, and then he got a job offer back in Milwaukee, of all places. So here we are. It worked out again well because it was about a year after I had my son, so he was able to come back and be near all of his doting grandparents and aunts and uncles who love to spoil him and spoil me with a little break here and there.
That give and take and family support is so important. And considering I'm right next door in Chicago, from Chicago, from Chicago. Now, how did you manage to move from that great weather to the winters of the Midwest? I don't know, Mandy.
I know. Well, when we were in Phoenix, it was the same but opposite. So winter, of course, was nice, but in the summer it was oppressively hot and everyone hid inside the same way we do now back in the Midwest in the winter. It's just the other time of year. So
Right.
But California, you could just any day go out and enjoy. But yeah, I guess my family should know that we really love them, and my husband's employer should know that they're really a great employer, because we did definitely sacrifice that beautiful sunny and 75 almost every day for
quite some
pretty
time.
cold weathers.
I'm down in Dallas, and it is as hot as it gets. People when you go to Chicago in the summertime, they have two wet seasons. Summer and winter. We don't have anything else, and you cannot pay me to come back and visit in winter time. I'm so sorry. But Mandie, that all sounds amazing. And so what I heard you say, and we talked in our green room before, our virtual green room before we came on. I want to address, turning points. You reinvented yourself because you went from middle school to high school, however you got there, and then you went into modeling, like two different spectrums. What was the turning point to help you adjust and adapt?
Well, I was modeling on the side while I was teaching. My agencies didn't really like when I would turn down auditions and such down in Chicago, actually, usually for teaching, but I just couldn't take off the day for an audition.
Right.
Paid shoot, perhaps, but for a 10-minute chance at something, I couldn't really do it. And over time, it was more and more stressful. The reason why we're praying for those teachers. Yeah. And political things started happening in Wisconsin that actually were putting my job at potential risk, because I'd only been doing it for 6 years at the time. And they were thinking of kind of introducing teachers with fewer requirements that they could pay less, and maybe moving those who weren't super tenured out. And I was talking to my mom, and I was just like, I could lose my job. And she's like, that could be the best thing that happens to you. If you lost your job, you could give makeup and modeling a real shot. And I started thinking about it more and more. And then I was like, yeah, that could be kind of good. And then I thought, well, if I'm thinking it would be good if I lost my job, that's not really somebody who I would want to teach my children, someone who had their foot out the door already. And so I kind of took that as a sign to start making an escape plan. And then, kind of made my transition at the end of that school year, and haven't been back in a traditional classroom since.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So I heard you say you haven't been back in a traditional classroom. So let's move into that part of what you're doing now, where you're still teaching just outside of the classroom.
Yeah, now I'm actually a yoga instructor. I teach a few days a week, and then I do special events here and there. I've done a book club retreat. Not last week when this airs, but I did a charity event where we had yoga with adoptable kittens in a gym. And so the kittens were around snuggling with people during the more relaxing poses, or standing on shoulders and backs during different stretches, and they were available to be taken home. And then it was also a for donation class. So people paid money and it went to a cat rescue. And then I also encouraged people to bring non-perishable food items. So I have a big, huge bin of food for a food pantry. So it was a really great event that I think benefited a lot of kitties and families in Milwaukee.
Oh, that is excellent. Now, I have never heard of a retreat with cats part of the yoga program. Listen, my sisters are so creative.
Well, I've seen ads where people are spending like $65 to do an hour of yoga with puppies, or I've seen goat yoga, which scares me because they have hooves and I don't feel like it's relaxing to be
So wait a minute. Wait. Are you saying people pay $65 for an hour with a puppy?
Yeah, and the money, it's like breeders work with yoga teachers, and then so it's all for profit, which is great. Like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't, make your money, please. But there's so many, animals that are in rescues and shelters that need homes. And so I don't like the support of the breeders. And so I thought, I see this and it annoys me every time. And when I'm doom scrolling and getting depressed about the world already, so what am I going to do? So I just started sending some messages to friends who I know volunteer and work with rescues. And I'm allergic to cats, but they're still cute. And it was like the low hanging fruit of something I could organize quickly. I'm still working on puppies, but we'll see what we can do. And I'd like to do a drive-based event once a month where maybe it's sanitary products, maybe it's backpacks for school kids, maybe it's winter coats, whatever it might be for each month, or a different charity every month that'll benefit, just because I can, and it's something that I can use my gifts to hopefully spread a little prosperity for other people as well.
Absolutely. Now, I've been telling my Layla, she's a beagle, that she needs a paper route. So you just gave me a different idea, so I may have to be looking into, she got to pull her keep around here too,
That's right. maybe Layla can be an influencer.
Cute enough. She is definitely cute enough. So listen, today's a very special day.
Yes.
Today is a very special day. So I mentioned earlier that we weren't going to tell them yet. So are you ready to share with the audience what has dropped live today? Are you ready to tell them?
I'm ready, yes. So alittlebetter.com. Oh, there it is, the link. That was perfect. So alittlebetter.com is my membership site, and it's basically the idea that all of us can get a little better every day. And so there's a different book every month that we'll read as a group, everyone at their own pace. And then it will come with journal prompts and questions that'll come along with the book, as well as some short yoga flows, some short guided meditations, just with the idea that you don't have to join a gym and go 90 minutes a day. And obviously this is not promising like six-pack abs or anything, but you don't have to go on a meditation silent retreat in India. You don't have to dedicate an hour and a half every day to reading something, but just the idea that you can take a little bit of time each day to read, to do something that makes you feel better, makes you do everything else better, and then also to actually implement the things that you do or that you learn from the book. So I feel like even myself, I can be guilty of reading a personal development book cover to cover like it's a novel, and then I haven't changed anything, and it's basically like I could have read a novel instead because I didn't do anything different. But if you take the time, right, exactly, it's just entertainment, but like, I guess more pretentious because I can say I'm getting better. But with this, the idea,
you say it enough times, it'll come true. It'll come true.
Yeah, there you go. But this, I figure if you take the time to maybe, answer some journal questions, if you take some time to actually put it in your calendar and find a way to make a plan to implement it, some of the things might stick a little bit better. And if you're doing it as a group and building a community around it, you have that accountability, you have the idea sharing, cheering each other on. So it's kind of like a global book club where we actually implement whatever we're learning with our personal development reading.
Absolutely. And I love that message, Mandie, because it is part of the foundation of the nonprofit that I started, which is called the She Economy Hub. We are working to bring together resources for women to make sure that they find power in her prosperity and creating that sense of financial stability and then economic freedom. And right now, the Economy Hub, the She Economy Hub, is in their giving campaign, and we are looking to sponsor 20 women for our annual retreat that we support, which is a part of the Wealthy Women Lifestyle Vision and Empowerment Retreat in January 2026, which will be live in Dallas. So feel free to check out our website and take a look around, become one of our prosperity partners, as well as our actual retreat. Listen, that retreat, if I do say so myself, is amazing. It's amazing. Where we have women who their instruction is be prepared to come to relax, release, and rejuvenate. And they're going to leave with clarity, confidence, and control. So it's live in Dallas over the course of 2 days, jam packed. Then we end on Saturday night, and I can't tell too much because they haven't, all the details for the activities haven't been released. But when I tell you I put my foot in it, I did that. I did that. And so one of the things that I love is I put out a call for people to join me the same way Mandie is. Had no idea who was going to answer that call. And so if you feel that you have a story that is another definition of the traditional word of prosperity, I want you to check out the Prosperity Conversations for 2025 and join us, because we support each other by sharing our testimonies. You don't have to learn everything by experience. That's why history books are written. So I am going to ask Mandie another question, and this is something that I like to hear from all of the people who were generous enough to come and talk with us and share part of their story. So Mandie, there's a woman out there somewhere who may be watching this right now, and she's feeling stuck and unseen. What would you say to her to get her started on her journey?
I guess it kind of reminds me of the way I felt when I decided to suddenly do a cat yoga event, is just to do something, and don't feel bad if it's low hanging fruit. It's still fruit. And the momentum from doing that one thing, even if it's just sending an email, even if it's just decluttering your office so that you're ready to meditate or do some brainstorming or check out the She Economy Hub or something, it just gets you a little bit of momentum. And then once you feel like, okay, you get that little win, you have the energy behind it, the next thing will come, and it may be what you expect. It may be something totally out of left field, like yoga with cats that you're allergic to, but you'll feel good after, and then you'll just keep rolling and just go where it takes you.
That is wonderful. I do believe I've had a coach remind me quite frequently that clarity comes in doing. If once you do it, that it might not be the right thing, but you won't know if it's the right thing if you don't at least do it one time. So once you do it, it's either right or it's not. And if it's not, try something else, right? So Mandie, thank you for your transparency, your joy, your fearless reinvention. Because again, from the teacher to modeling, two big different spectrums, but you've done it again and again and again. Your story is a reminder that prosperity isn't something that we arrive at, it's something that we design. And it's most important, if you guys don't take anything else from this, always remember prosperity isn't something you chase, it's something you choose. And it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. Success moves at the speed of execution, but you got to take the first step. This has been another episode of Prosperity Conversations, and I am the Nicole Johnson. Until next time.